Your life is already shifting, but you're the last one to notice. If you feel even an ounce of truth in that, you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. This is the point where life starts rearranging itself before it reveals the blessing. You don't see the change first. You feel the pressure first. Right before a major life shift, everything becomes uncomfortable. Not broken, just tight, like a pair of shoes you've outgrown but kept wearing out of habit. Your routines feel dull. Your mind feels restless. Your emotions feel louder than usual. That's not you falling apart. That's life whispering you're done with this version of yourself. You're not stuck. You're being redirected. Everyone wants the breakthrough, but nobody talks about the build-up. The emotional heaviness. The unexpected endings. The sudden urge to walk away from people, places, and habits you once thought were permanent. Pressure isn't a punishment. It's a signal. Just like a volcano rumbles before it erupts, your spirit shakes before it rises. If life has felt heavier recently, don't panic. It means the next version of you is too big for the space you're currently standing in. Most people never understand this part. Your blessing doesn't begin when it enters your life. It begins when what can't go with you starts leaving. People pull away. Old habits break. Opportunities expire. You think you're losing, but you're being cleared. A tree drops dead branches before spring arrives. Your soul works the same way. Everything that recently fell away was making room for what was always meant to find you. You are next in line, not because everything has been easy, but because you survived everything that wasn't. You kept going when you had no proof your effort mattered. You kept growing when no one was watching. You kept believing even when believing felt foolish. Life doesn't reward perfection. It rewards persistence. Your persistence has placed you exactly where you need to be for what's coming next. You weren't being ignored. You were being prepared. If you've quietly been wondering, is something finally shifting for me? Is this really my moment? Is what I feel actually real? Listen. You wouldn't be hearing this if the answer was no. This message arrived because your spirit is ready before your circumstances show it. Your frequency has changed. Your timeline is catching up. Life is about to respond to the version of you you've been becoming in private. The discomfort you've been feeling isn't random static. It's your internal guidance system recalibrating. Think about how a snake sheds its skin. There's a period right before the shedding where everything feels wrong. The old skin becomes opaque, vision becomes clouded, movement becomes restricted. The snake doesn't know it's about to emerge renewed. It just knows something has to give. That's where you are right now. Something has to give, and it's about to. You've been living in the gap between who you were and who you're becoming, and that gap creates friction. The old patterns don't fit anymore, but the new ones haven't fully formed yet. You're caught between identities, between timelines, between versions of your life. Most people interpret this gap as evidence they're doing something wrong. They think the discomfort means they've failed or fallen off track. They don't realize the discomfort is the track. It's the narrow passage you have to move through to get to the other side. Your system has been rejecting what doesn't match your new frequency. Conversations that used to engage you now drain you. Environments that used to feel comfortable now feel suffocating. Goals that used to motivate you now feel hollow. You've been wondering what's wrong with you, why you can't just be happy with what you have, why you can't stop wanting something different. Nothing is wrong with you. Your frequency shifted, and now everything operating at the old frequency feels misaligned. This is how evolution works. You don't consciously decide to outgrow your current life. Your spirit outgrows it first, and then your conscious mind has to catch up. Your body feels it before your thoughts understand it. That restlessness in your chest. That sense that you're supposed to be doing something else, being somewhere else, living some other version of your life. That's not anxiety. That's your future self calling you forward. The universe has been orchestrating this shift for longer than you realize. Every door that closed recently, every person who walked away, every plan that fell apart, Every disappointment that didn't destroy you. All of it was preparation. All of it was clearing. All of it was creating the exact conditions necessary for what's about to unfold. You thought those were setbacks. They were setups. You thought you were losing ground. You were gaining altitude. What's coming requires a different version of you. The version you were 6 months ago couldn't handle what's coming. That version didn't have the capacity, didn't have the clarity, didn't have the strength. So the universe put you through an accelerated growth period. It compressed years of lessons into months. It pushed you to your edges and made you expand beyond what you thought possible. It stripped away everything that would slow you down or hold you back from what's next. You've been building something in the invisible realm. Every moment you showed up when you didn't feel like it. Every time you chose faith over evidence. Every decision to keep going when quitting made more sense. All of that was constructing the foundation for what's about to materialize. You couldn't see what you were building because you were building it in frequency, in vibration, in the realm where all creation begins before it becomes physical. That's why you can't see the shift yet. It's still forming in the vibrational space. But you can feel it. That knowing that something's different even though everything looks the same. That sense that you're standing on the edge of something even though you can't name what it is. That quiet certainty that your life is about to change even though you have no logical reason to believe it. That feeling isn't hope. That's perception. You're perceiving what's already in motion before it becomes visible. The window is open right now. Not metaphorically. Literally. There's a specific frequency available in this exact moment that won't be available next week or next month. You're receiving information right now that can only be received when your awareness has reached this particular threshold. That's why this message found you today. That's why these words are landing. You've reached the frequency where you can actually hear what you need to hear and do something with it. Most people will listen to this and feel something stir, then return to their familiar patterns and let the moment pass. They'll agree with the concepts but won't shift their vibration. They'll recognize the truth but won't act on it. The window will close for them not because the universe is withholding anything, but because they're not matching the frequency where the shift can occur. They're still operating from the old vibration, the one that keeps recreating the same circumstances over and over. You're different. Something in you has already shifted. You wouldn't have found this message if you were still operating at the old frequency. The fact that you're here, that you're watching this, that something inside you is responding, that's evidence. That's confirmation that you've already crossed a threshold. You're not waiting for the shift anymore. You're in it. You just don't fully realize it yet because the external circumstances haven't caught up to the internal transformation. Here's what happens next. Your external reality is about to rearrange itself to match your new internal frequency. Things that seemed stuck will suddenly move. People who couldn't see you will suddenly notice. Opportunities that felt impossible will suddenly appear. Not because the external world changed, but because you changed. Your vibration shifted, and now the universe has to reorganize your circumstances to match where you are energetically. This reorganization might look chaotic at first. More things might fall away before the new things arrive. More endings might occur before the new beginnings show up. That's normal. That's part of the clearing process. You can't build a new structure on an old foundation. The universe has to clear the space completely before it can deliver what's meant for your new frequency. Trust the clearing. Trust the endings. Trust that everything leaving your life right now is making room for something better to enter. If this is landing for you, if you're feeling that resonance in your body, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people who are actively shifting their frequency, who are done with surface-level content and ready for the real work of transformation. Your subscription helps us reach more people who are ready for this message. Please take a moment and subscribe. Now, let's talk about what you actually do with this information. You don't have to figure out the entire path forward. You don't need a complete blueprint. You just need to honor what's trying to emerge through you right now. When you feel the pull to do something different, do it. When you feel the urge to release something, release it. When you feel the call to step into something new, step into it. Your only job is to stay aligned with your new frequency and let the universe reorganize your circumstances around that alignment. Stop trying to make the old life work. Stop trying to force relationships that feel strained. Stop trying to resurrect opportunities that already died. Stop trying to squeeze yourself back into spaces you've outgrown. All of that is you trying to operate from the old frequency while simultaneously asking for the new life. You can't do both. You have to release the old to receive the new. You have to let go of what was to make space for what's coming. The clearing might feel lonely. You might look around and realize most of the people who were with you before aren't with you now. That's okay. That's part of the shift. You're moving to a different frequency, and not everyone can come with you. Not because they're bad people or because you're better than them, but because you're moving in different directions. Your paths aligned for a season, and now that season is complete. Honor what was and release them with love. New people will enter your life. People who match your new frequency. People who see you clearly. People who celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. People who encourage your evolution instead of trying to keep you small. These people will show up naturally as you continue operating from your new frequency. You don't have to search for them or force connections. They'll find you because you're now vibrating at the same frequency they are. The same thing happens with opportunities. New doors will open that you couldn't even see before. Not because they weren't there, but because you weren't vibrating at the frequency where they become visible. As you continue operating from this new frequency, paths that seemed blocked will suddenly clear. Resources that seemed unavailable will suddenly appear. Solutions to problems that seemed impossible will suddenly emerge. Your reality is reorganizing itself around your new vibration. This process accelerates the more you trust it. Every time you honor your new frequency instead of reverting to old patterns, you solidify the shift. Every time you choose alignment over comfort, you anchor the transformation. Every time you act from your new awareness instead of your old conditioning, you strengthen the new timeline. The shift isn't something that happens to you. It's something you participate in with every choice you make. You're standing at a threshold. Behind you is everything you've known, everything familiar, everything comfortable. Ahead of you is everything you've been asking for, everything you've been building toward, everything your spirit knows you're ready for. The threshold is uncomfortable because you're between worlds. You haven't fully released the old one yet, and you haven't fully stepped into the new one yet. You're suspended between timelines, between identities, between versions of your life. The only way through is forward. You can't go back. The old frequency doesn't fit anymore. Your spirit has outgrown it. The only way out of the discomfort is through the threshold into the new frequency. That means releasing what you're still clutching from the old life. That means stepping fully into what's trying to emerge, even though you can't see the complete picture yet. That means trusting that what's on the other side of this threshold is worth the temporary discomfort of crossing it. Your life is already shifting. The pressure you've been feeling is the shift happening. The restlessness is your spirit expanding. The endings are the universe clearing space. The discomfort is you outgrowing your old frequency. Everything that's been happening recently isn't random. It's all part of the orchestration that's bringing you to this exact moment where you're ready to cross the threshold into your new life. You're not waiting anymore. You're entering. The shift you asked for is already unfolding. Your only job now is to claim it. Stop hesitating. Stop second-guessing. Stop looking for more signs. This is the sign. This message finding you is the confirmation you've been asking for. Your frequency has changed. Your timeline is catching up. Life is about to respond to the version of you you've been becoming in private. Take one breath deeper than usual. Feel your chest rise. You're not waiting anymore. You're entering. The shift you asked for is already unfolding. Your only job now is to claim it. Say it. I'm next in line. Your moment isn't approaching. It has arrived.